Hi, my name is Lexi Woodyard, and this is my demonstrative speech on how to tie-dye a t-shirt. I'm in section 2 in my university class. So step 1 is mixing the fabric dye according to the instructions in the package. Usually they come in a little bag like this with different names. This one's Bahama Blue, and you usually use a 3-gallon stainless steel bucket. This one in the picture is plastic, but the problem with plastic buckets is that they stain. So usually use either stainless steel or some type of metal bucket. And then you add a cup of salt to the color so it enhances them. When you put the salt in, it makes them brighter, and people usually tie shirts with bright colors. Step 2 is to dip your plain white t-shirt in soapy water. This is to saturate the shirt so that when you start to color it or dye it, it holds the color better. And you make the design you want. In the pictures, you have a messy spiral, which is like where you just kind of you grab the middle of the shirt and like scrunch it up, make it messy, and then you put rubber bands around the sections of the shirt and add different colors to each section. So if you put like 4 rubber bands, you'll have 8 sections, and you add a different color to each section to like kind of create the spirally look. And then there's the rainbow type, which is where you kind of twist the middle up and then you leave like the section. They're using zip ties in this section, which you can, but most people use rubber bands. And basically you just add, like in this one, there's like a middle piece that has different colors in it, and then they just add one color to the ends, but really you can use different colors in the whole thing and make the whole shirt a rainbow looking color. And then the targeted bullseye one is kind of similar to the rainbow, but you use the whole shirt instead of just the one section with colors in it. And then there's multiple bullseyes where you take different sections of the shirt and you just kind of like ball them up and then make them kind of like the rainbow, but then it puts like bullseyes in different sections on the t-shirt. Step 3 is to put them in a plastic bag. You put them in a plastic bag so that, well, you're supposed to dye them on plastic and not on the countertop or on a table or anything, because the fabric dye will stain, and people usually put them in a plastic bag so that they can leave them in there and they don't have to worry about like the dye getting on anything else. It's just on the t-shirt. And here are some pictures of them in the plastic bags, and this shows the different designs or different colors that they put on them, and then they put them on plastic on a table so that they don't get stained. Step 4 is to leave it sit in the bag. You want to leave it, so the longer that you leave it, the better your tie-dye is going to look. So if you take it out after one day and you wash it, it's going to be more like a faded color. Whereas if you leave it for 4 or 5 days, even I left one up to 2 weeks, and taking it out, it's going to be more vibrant in color, which usually is a good thing. And you want to make sure that you don't leave any white spaces on your tie-dye shirt either, so that you make sure you get all, like over here you can see in this one there are white spaces. You want to make sure you get all of the white out and you get a bunch of color in your tie-dye shirt. Step 5 is to take the shirt out of the bag. You want to rinse it in cold, soapy water. I usually do mine in the sink, but you're supposed to wear gloves so you don't stain your hands. So put your gloves on, take the rubber bands off, take it out of the bag, wash it in cold water in the sink so that your dye doesn't run out. And then I put mine in the dryer before I wash it, because you put it in the dryer to just kind of dry the dye and like saturate it, and then I leave it sit out on a hanger after being in the dryer, and I let it hang in my room for 3 or 4 days before I put it in the washing machine, which you're still going to want to wash it in cold water, because if you wash it in warm water, your colors are going to fade out, and that's not good. So warm water or cold water in the sink with soap, then put it in the dryer to dry it, leave it sit out for 2 or 3 more days, and then wash it in the washing machine just like you would in the shirt, but make sure you're washing water. So back to the beginning to tie-dye a t-shirt. Mix your fabric dye in a bucket. Usually use stainless steel. Add a cup of salt so your colors get brighter. Dip the shirt in soapy water. Make the design you want out of rubber bands or zip ties as seen in this post. Put it in a plastic bag. Leave it sit for 2, 3, 4 days, sometimes a week. The longer you leave it sit, the brighter your shirt's going to be, and the less likely you are to have a faded shirt. And then take it out of the bag, take the rubber bands off, rinse it off in cold soapy water, put it in the dryer, leave it hang out for a few days, and then wash it just like you would any other shirt. and that's how you make a tie-dye t-shirt.